For the last decade, homes have looked almost identical. White walls, gray floors, the same matte black fixtures in every kitchen, from Seattle to Miami. Architects call it the minimalist era. Most people just call it boring. In 2026, that's officially over. Interior design platforms surveying tens of millions of homeowners are calling it one of the single biggest design shifts of the year. Chevron patterns, brass accents, jewel tones, and sunburst motifs are flooding back into new builds and renovations across the country. It's called the Art Deco revival, and it's not nostalgia. It's architects and homeowners actively rejecting a decade of sameness. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly why this 100-year-old style is suddenly everywhere again. What it actually looks like, applied to a small modern home, and what it really costs to bring this look into a tiny home build in 2026. Welcome to Affordable Tiny Living. If you're tired of every home looking like the same white box and want to see how a bolder, more distinctive style translates to small footprint living, subscribe now. We break down a different architectural style every single week. This one might be the boldest yet. Let's get into it. Art Deco emerged in 1925 out of a design exposition in Paris, and it spread fast through the following decade. The Chrysler Building in New York, entire pastel neighborhoods in Miami Beach, terracotta apartment blocks in Los Angeles and Chicago. The style married machine-age geometry with genuinely luxurious materials, built on a simple belief: a home doesn't have to choose between modern and glamorous. It thrived roughly from 1925 to 1940, then largely faded from residential design for the better part of a century, surviving mostly in preserved historic districts and the occasional themed hotel lobby. What's happening in 2026 isn't a revival of that literal 1930s look. Designers are calling this version Neo-Deco, the geometry and glamour of the original style, filtered through contemporary materials and, importantly, contemporary budgets. And that distinction is exactly what makes it translatable to a tiny home. So why now, specifically? This isn't one design blog's opinion. Multiple major research platforms independently landed on the same trend for 2026, and the reasons behind it are worth understanding, because they explain exactly how to apply the style well. Reason 1. Outright fatigue with minimalism. For more than a decade, home design converged on the same formula: white walls, gray floors, matte black fixtures, open shelving. It was called clean and timeless when it launched. By 2026, major design platforms are describing it in blunter terms: safe, repetitive, and emotionally flat. Homeowners are explicitly telling researchers they want spaces with more personality, not less. Reason 2. Search and engagement data is backing it up, not just opinion. Design platforms surveying tens of millions of homeowners are seeing measurable spikes in specific deco-coded searches. Interest in red marble bathrooms rose sharply this year, and searches for pendant lighting climbed alongside it. This isn't a trend being pushed top-down by a handful of tastemakers. It's homeowners actively searching for it. Reason 3. It photographs and films exceptionally well. In an era where a home's design gets shared on social media before it's ever lived in, flat minimalism simply doesn't perform. Geometric patterns, jewel tones, and metallic accents create visual contrast and depth that read powerfully in a photo or a short video clip. A genuinely practical reason architects are leaning back into bold detailing. Reason 4. It solves a real problem in small space design specifically. A recurring criticism of small and tiny homes is that they can feel generic or utilitarian, form sacrificed entirely for function. Art Deco's philosophy of geometry and craft as everyday luxury directly counters that. A single fluted built-in or a checkerboard floor gives a small space real identity without adding square footage. Reason 5. Maximum impact, minimum intervention. Fits modern budgets. Design experts working directly with the style this year emphasize that one well-chosen deco piece or detail does more work than an entire room full of trend-led accessories, and does it with more longevity. That's a philosophy built for exactly this economic moment, when homeowners want a design statement without a full structural renovation to support it. Reason 6. It pairs surprisingly well with what's already trending. Rather than competing with the soft, earthy, biophilic materials that have dominated recent years, designers are describing neo-deco as a deliberate counterpoint. Where natural textures and curves soothe, deco geometry adds edge, structure, and a bit of drama. Architects aren't discarding the last decade of design. They're layering this on top of it. Put together, this isn't a nostalgia trend. It's a direct, researched response to what an entire decade of sameness left out. Applied to a small modern home, Art Deco's exterior language is instantly recognizable, even at a fraction of the scale of a 1930s Miami hotel. The defining feature is geometric symmetry. A neo-deco tiny home typically presents a centered, symmetrical front facade, often with a slightly stepped or tiered roofline, a small-scale echo of the ziggurat stepped-back massing that defined Art Deco skyscrapers. Corners tend to be softened rather than sharp, with rounded or chamfered edges replacing the hard right angles common in most modern tiny home design. Facade materials lean towards smooth stucco or plaster in a restrained color, sometimes finished in a soft pastel, reminiscent of the Miami Beach originals, sometimes a more contemporary cream or warm gray. Against that smooth backdrop, the real character shows up in accent details. A vertical banding of contrasting trim running up the front facade, a fluted or reeded texture around the entry, or a sunburst motif detail worked into a gate, a window grille, or an overhead awning. Windows follow the geometry too. Rather than standard rectangular openings, neo-deco exteriors often use stepped or fan-shaped window details above the main glazing, along with slim vertical window groupings that reinforce the style's signature verticality even on a single-story footprint. Metal accents, chrome or brass door hardware, slim, linear light fixtures flanking the entry finish the look without adding real structural cost. Entryways get particular attention in this style, since the front door functions almost like a piece of jewelry for the whole facade. A recessed entry, framed by a fan-shaped surround, paired with a simple geometric address plaque and a linear brass light fixture on either side, can carry the entire exterior's deco identity, even when the rest of the facade stays relatively restrained. Step inside, and this is where the Art Deco revival really earns the word glamorous, even in a small space. Flooring is one of the style's signature moves. Original Art Deco interiors relied heavily on terrazzo and polished stone, and the 2026 revival brings that back directly. Checkerboard tile patterns, in particular, are one of the most cited details in this year's design forecasts, often executed in bold contrasting tones or elevated with jewel-toned accent tiles in kitchens and bathrooms. Walls and millwork lean into geometry, rather than ornament for ornament's sake. Fluted wood paneling, stepped shelving units, and symmetrical built-ins that echo the stepped rooflines used outside. Color palettes favor rich jewel tones, emerald, sapphire, deep burgundy, used deliberately and sparingly against warmer neutral backgrounds. Following the same maximum impact through minimum intervention, principal designers are applying across the 2026 revival. One well-placed deco detail does more work than an entire room styled head to toe in the aesthetic. Lighting fixtures are arguably the easiest and most affordable way to bring the style indoors. Sunburst pattern pendant lights, stepped tier chandeliers, and brass or chrome sconces with fan-shaped glass shades, are all seeing significant renewed interest this year. In a small kitchen or living space, a single striking pendant light over an island or dining table can define the entire room's character without touching a single wall. Furniture follows the same restraint-first logic: curved silhouettes, velvet or richly textured upholstery, and pieces with visible brass or chrome legs, chosen as standalone statement pieces rather than an entire matching deco furniture set, which keeps both the cost and the visual intensity in check for a compact footprint. Bathrooms have become one of the style's biggest 2026 breakout moments. Specifically, red and other richly colored marble is seeing a sharp rise in search interest this year, often used on a single accent wall or vanity surround rather than covering every surface, paired with brass fixtures and a small format checkerboard or hexagon floor tile. In a tiny home, a bathroom this size is small enough that even a genuinely premium material choice stays within reach, since the total square footage being covered is minimal. Now, real numbers. And I want to be upfront that Art Deco styling is fundamentally a finishes and details layer, not a structural system, so the cost conversation here looks a little different than some of our other episodes. Budget tier. The most affordable way into this style is through fixtures and accents rather than construction. Statement lighting, sunburst pendants, fan-shaped sconces, along with brass hardware, a checkerboard tile accent in a kitchen or bathroom, and a jewel-toned paint accent wall can bring genuine neo-deco character into a small home for roughly $3,000 to $8,000, layered onto a standard tiny home build without touching the structure at all. Mid-range tier. Adding real terrazzo or checkerboard flooring throughout main living areas, fluted wood millwork, custom built-in shelving with stepped detailing, and upgraded brass or chrome fixtures throughout, typically runs in the $15,000 to $35,000 range as an add-on to a standard tiny home build, depending heavily on how much of the home's flooring and millwork gets the full treatment. High-spec tier. A fully custom build with a genuinely stepped or tiered roofline, stucco facade detailing, custom fan-shaped window elements, and premium terrazzo or natural stone throughout the interior pushes overall finish costs toward the higher end of general home renovation pricing nationally, roughly $100 to $200+ per square foot just for the finish and detail work, on top of the base structural cost of the home itself. For context, restoring or replicating genuine period Art Deco details on an existing structure, stucco facade work, terrazzo floor refinishing, custom metal trim, runs roughly $8 to $15 per square foot for stucco and $3 to $8 per square foot for terrazzo specifically, which is actually more affordable than most people assume once you're not paying for the structural bones of a 1930s building along with it. One more honest factor worth naming. Labor, not materials, is usually the larger line item in any renovation. Industry-wide 2026 renovation data shows labor accounts for roughly 50 to 60% of most project budgets, which means the fluted millwork and custom tile patterns central to this style, both labor-intensive to install correctly, will cost more in a high labor cost region than the material price alone suggests. The honest takeaway: you do not need to build an entire Art Deco tiny home to get this look, because the style lives so heavily in flooring, lighting, and accent details rather than structural geometry. It's one of the more budget-flexible aesthetic choices you can layer onto virtually any tiny home floor plan. Let's go through what doesn't make the design mood boards. 1. Bold styles age faster than neutral ones. Jewel tones, checkerboard patterns, and statement brass fixtures make a strong first impression, but strong styles also go out of fashion more visibly than a neutral palette. If you're building to sell within a few years, an overly committed deco interior can narrow your buyer pool. 2. It's easy to overdo. The entire 2026 version of this trend is built around restraint. One striking light fixture, one accent wall, one checkerboard floor. Applying heavy deco detailing to every surface in a small home very quickly tips from glamorous into costume, and that line is easy to cross in a compact footprint where every design choice is close to every other one. 3. Some signature materials genuinely cost more. Real terrazzo, custom metal trim, and fluted millwork are not the cheapest finish options available. Budget-conscious builds often need to lean on paint, tile patterns, and lighting to capture the look rather than the full material palette of the original style. 4. Period-accurate exterior details can trigger permitting complexity. Stepped rooflines and non-standard massing may fall outside simplified permitting paths that many standard tiny home designs qualify for, depending on your local jurisdiction, worth checking before committing to a heavily stepped exterior profile. 5. It's a strong personal aesthetic, not a universal one. Unlike a neutral modern farmhouse look, Art Deco is a genuine style statement. It photographs beautifully and creates real emotional impact, but it won't appeal to every future buyer or renter the way a more neutral interior would. None of this makes the style a bad choice. It makes it exactly what a bold aesthetic always is, a deliberate act of self-expression with real trade-offs attached. If you want a home with genuine visual personality, you're building for yourself rather than an anonymous future buyer, and you're comfortable investing extra in flooring and fixtures rather than square footage, this revival is worth exploring seriously. If resale flexibility matters more to you than personal style, borrowing just one or two signature deco details into an otherwise neutral build gets you the character without the commitment. So tell me in the comments, would you go full glamour with a neo-deco tiny home, or keep it to one statement light fixture and call it a day? And if you want a full walkthrough of budget-friendly deco lighting and tile options specifically, let me know. That might be the next video. I'll see you in the next one.